This is an Audio Wool original.
Alright, I'm start recording now. And Byron, I'm hitting stream live in 5.
In front of the legendary Dumas Brothel for the next 7 hours. We are going to be doing a live investigation of this infamous building and the folks who hung out here, lived here, worked here. Building has already taken some blood. Sorry we're late. I fell down the stairs. If that's any indication of how tonight's going to go, that'll be fun. Yeah, we're going to investigate the murderous death, potentially, of Madame Eleanor Knott, the heartbreaking suicide of a sex worker named Sarah. It's a building full of rooms where a room is haunted. I'm going to come up these stairs here that injured me a minute ago. And we're going to introduce you to our tour guide. There's Kelly, and there's Addison. Hi.
Hi. So this is weird because I'm not pointing at him. So do I like?
Well, no, we've got camera 3 is going to be right here, Kelly. It's a little clumsy, huh?
Well, yeah, it's me. Sorry, this is Addison.
Oh my God.
He's with Chilling Paranormal, which is a group that has taken over and does all of the both investigation and tours of this building, along with a lot of other buildings around the state. And we have been chatting with him for the last hour plus, getting all sorts of great information. And I've been getting increasingly terrified about Byron and Dennis making me stay here. Addison, tell us a little bit about what you think a person should be thinking about as they go into a night at the Dumas Brothel.
Not Dumas. Like we
Not
could say
Dumas.
for a
Dumas.
while.
Yeah.
You know, Dumas is actually the current.
Just not the Butte way to say it, so you can't say it that way.
Okay.
My mother-in-law. Yep. Nope.
No, you know, it's like I said before, just beware what you wish for. Because things can happen in here that you're not really going to find anywhere else. It's a pretty unique building with unique history. You're officially standing in the longest running brothel in the United States, not just Montana. So this place was opened in 1890 and closed in 1982.
Almost 100.
Yeah, almost 100
So
years
close.
old. It was built by 2 Canadian brothers named Joseph and Arthur Nadeau. They were Canadian immigrants who came over here. They not only owned this brothel, but quite a few others in the area, along with some legitimate businesses, I guess you could say. Right.
Get a portfolio.
Right. And so they ran it for quite a few years. There was a falling out between Joseph and Arthur later on. We don't really know why, but Arthur kind of stepped out of the picture, and Joseph was running all these brothels, and it kind of stayed in the Nadeau family. All the way up until we really start talking about Eleanor Knott and Grace McGinnis. Grace McGinnis was really the first madam who worked and ran this place. And there was quite a few key madams, right?
So, was it, like, based on the history you've been able to research, was it better as a sex worker here to work under one of those madams or to work under the brothers when they were running it? I'm guessing it probably wasn't great in either circumstance, but...
You know, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Especially back in the day, it wasn't so looked down upon like it is nowadays, right? It was just another profession.
Well, I don't even mean look down upon. I mean, they have any say? Like, were they able to say,
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
no,
So,
I'm not?
so in the days of Joseph and Arthur, this was one of the very high-end brothels.
Oh, right, because it was like the Copper Kings and like
Right.
the...
So as we move through the rooms here, you're going to see a lot of these double doors that can open.
Oh, very good.
Some of the rooms, they've been boarded up. And that comes later on in the history. Before, when it was first freshly built, those were for a purpose. So you could either have these closed and have a very intimate setting with friends or family,
Oh.
or you could have them all open and have like a ball type,
Big party.
right, big party.
Okay.
And so it wasn't just to come and get your rocks off, I guess, back in those days.
So like the women actually had some autonomy. And
So they would all be upstairs.
Okay.
And they were very high-end girls, very pretty, didn't carry disease, they were clean. And like I said, it was basically like a companionship at that point. It wasn't just to get your rocks off, right? So you were coming in here and she would get your drink, she would rub your shoulder, she would draw
Right.
your bath, you would spend the night together, right?
Right.
So it's
right.
companionship.
And
Those-
sleep here.
Right.
Yeah.
Those girls were making upwards of $800 to $1,000 a night.
Wow. Which
Back then.
says a lot about how much the miners are making.
Right. So quite a few.
Mhm.
This wasn't so much your miners at that
This is,
point. This is more of your high-end society, like the Copper Kings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
sure.
But by about 1915, 1920, the Copper Kings had either died or left.
Yeah.
And the money died and left with them.
Yeah.
And so what do? You have to adapt. And that's when they started to seal up some of the double doors and make these into actual rooms. They made the crypts downstairs, and they also had doors that led to Venus Alley. And you had different levels of class. The higher class, cleaner girls, prettier girls would always be upstairs. Down here would be your middle class, and the basement would be your low of low. So upstairs at that time, the girls could make anywhere from $8, $10, maybe $15 an hour
Wait.
for a client.
Okay. I mean, like, I wish I could just do the math like that, but that was a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
The girls on this level would make 3 to 5, and the girls on Venus Alley and in the cribs would service 50 to 60 men a day at 75 cents a piece.
Oof. Okay. And there's
So
so much snow.
not the greatest life. And
So
later on, a lot of these girls rented out rooms and also had pimps. So
I was just gonna say, like, we were talking about that a little bit, like the dynamic
Madams
between like a
versus
madam
pimps.
versus a pimp, and when that transition kind of happened as well.
yeah, so there was always madams here after the Nadeau brothers, but like I said, some of them rented out rooms, and so you're not only paying the room rent, but you're also paying
Percentage of your.
a percentage to your pimp. And,
Yeah.
so it was probably not the best lifestyle at that point.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't living the greatest life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it
Yeah.
was, what it was.
Kelly, lock your car. Okay.
You lock
I
it.
just want to make sure before we get started.
Yep, yep.
Because we got a long night ahead of us.
Yep.
You got a very long night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get that
So
flashlight in my
no,
pocket.
you said Dumas, and you were actually pretty close. So this place was named after Joseph's fiance at the time, and her maiden name was Dumas. So it's French Canadian Dumas.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
so-
yeah.
Because you don't want to put your own name on a brothel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'll
that
use your
makes sense.
fiance's instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, that's the joke we always make. You know, it was actually Dumas, but we're Americans, so we pronounce it
Not
Dumas
just
like
American.
dumbasses.
Exactly.
Fusions, not just Americans. Yeah.
So it does have quite a history. After the Nadeau brothers left, Grace McGinnis, we don't know too much about her. There's not, that I'm going to be telling you is pretty much all we've been able to find, because when you're running an illicit business, you probably don't want most of your stuff getting out.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like people were writing books or journals on this place.
Yeah.
So after Grace McGinnis, you had a woman named Eleanor Knott. And Eleanor Knott has a couple different stories to her. We don't know which one is true, which one isn't. What we do know is that there was things surrounding her death that were very mysterious.
Told you this.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So one of the stories is that she was going to sell the brothel and run off with a fiance that she was with, and he never showed up, and she killed herself. I don't believe that, just from things that have been found out about Eleanor Knott and the type of person
Okay.
she was. I don't think that even if you're a strong, intelligent woman running a brothel,
Yeah, if you survive,
why are you letting a man decide your fate?
it is pretty incongruous.
I don't see Eleanor being like that. I think it's more of the other story that I'm about to tell. So she was going to run off with her fiance and sell the brothel. And that didn't sit too well with some of the other ladies who were working here, because they knew that they would either be fired, out of this place. The girl that
Corporate buyout.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So the woman that Eleanor Knott was going to sell this place to was a woman by the name of Badmouth Jean. And the reason they called her Badmouth Jean is the only way. Can I cuss on your stuff?
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't,
Nope, you're good.
So the reason they called her Badmouth Jean is the one description that I found in history was Jean was the type of woman that would call a spade a fucking shovel.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
she was just
right.
she
Okay.
was that type of
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact, she owned a couple bars later in life, and there was 3 guys that came into the bar, and she actually shot 2 of them. And
Okay.
killed them right in the bar. The third one got away, and the only thing that she said to the cops when they showed up was that if she was a little bit younger and faster, she would have got the third one.
She sounds like
but,
she'd be
yeah,
worth
so
researching after we leave.
She owned quite a few brothels in the area, and Eleanor Knott was going to sell this brothel off to her. And that were working here under Eleanor Knott was a woman by the name of Bonita Farron. Bonita was not too happy about the brothel being sold. And so one day Eleanor Knott is found dead in bed from coronary occlusion. Now, coronary occlusion is basically where your heart valve seize up and your heart just has no more blood going to it. It gives out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It usually happens in people that are 70 to 80 years old. Eleanor Knott was in her 40s. It also happens
That
when
was a rough 40, though.
Right. It also happens when you ingest small amounts of poison over a long period of time.
Oh.
And so with her trying to sell off the brothel and some of the girls not liking that, I think Bonita had something to do with it. And the reason I think that is because when Eleanor passed away, Bonita became the madam of this brothel. So she not only inherited the brothel, but she inherited Eleanor's house, her cars, her jewelry, her money.
This was the Cadillac, right?
This was the Cadillac. Okay. So does she have motive? Yeah.
Yep.
Keep it out of the hands of Badmouth? Yeah. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
So she had the motive to do it. Now, there's only 2 deaths on record in this place.
Really?
Bonita's tied to both of them.
And
So
that's
Eleanor Knott is
recorded deaths, right? Like-
Recorded deaths.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we know that there were more? Absolutely, because her husband, John Farron, threw 2 right outside of the madam window,
Wow.
and they broke their necks on the side of the building over here.
Well, that wasn't in the
But back in the day,
It technically was outside.
back in the day, we were kind of a second-class citizen and
Right.
weren't worth doing the paperwork over.
Right.
So no recorded death.
Wow.
They just kind of carted them off. And I think a lot of that kind of happened around here when you're running this kind of business. We'll get to Ruby Garrett later on, and I can tell you a story about her with this place and in the basement and the tunnels.
Okay. Yeah, those tunnels.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We will get there.
I'm not going there.
So Bonita takes it over. The other death on record is her husband, John Farron.
Oh.
He was found with his head completely turned around 180 at the bottom of the stairs. That's down the hallway here.
Oh.
David Prince, who owns this place, was an EMT for 19 years.
Really?
And he said that the only time you find injuries like John Farron had on their death certificate was when somebody was going 90 miles per hour on a crotch rocket and you slam into a tree. There's no way that he fell down this small flight
There's not
of
enough
steps in a
force from
drunken
a fall.
stupor to break his neck like this.
That's terrifying.
Do I think Bonita did it? No, I don't think Bonita did it. Do I think that she had something to do with it, like paying off a pimp to do it, maybe? Yeah. Because if you own a brothel and you have money and jewelry and cars now, what do you need an abusive drunk husband for?
And that's really true. That's maybe the
Right?
one positive I could say about them. Yeah.
Okay, so Bonita, those are the 2 deaths that are on record, and Bonita's tied to both of them. There's some other stuff down in the basement. I don't know if you want me to talk about it down there or if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll kind of take a walk around. I'll show you Eleanor's room.
Okay. You haven't mentioned the judge. Is the judge a whole bunch of bunk? Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's a whole bunch of bunk.
It is? Okay, thank goodness.
Goodness.
I just said that on live stream.
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures is gonna hate me.
That's fine.
Sorry,
Well, there's
you
no,
write
like-
shitty scripts.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's...
told you, Kelly. It was purely fun.
No,
that's what I said. I was
will
like, I
I
don't
say
think
that there
there's-
is something up there that does scratch and choke and then yes.
Right, but that...
But
yeah.
do we have a judge? No, there's no judge ever
It's
in
just a
history.
really cliche, great...
It's just a really bad story that
okay.
was written on paper for their cameras.
Okay.
I hate to
All
say
right.
it
You think
like
they
that.
wrote it? You don't hate to say it. It's fun to say it.
That's great to say it.
Yeah. So Kelly, basically, if you want to walk with them or in front of
Okay.
them, I'll follow behind for this
I'm
portion.
definitely not leading the way with anything. So if you would like somebody to walk in front of them, that's going to be you.
I'm just got it.
Okay?
So some of these rooms that we've done, you're more than welcome to sit on the beds, the chairs, the couches, things like that.
I have a question about the smells. Are there any things that would be leading to strange smells around here that we should expect, or is anything weird that we smell like?
So I don't want to give it away. I want to see if you experience
okay.
it through the night, and we can
Okay,
talk
great.
later.
Cool. Okay.
But there's two distinct smells that come up in this place. What's really funny is men can smell one and women can smell the other, but not vice versa.
We're gonna
We'll
see
have
about
a
that.
debate in the car on the way home. Yeah.
When I have had women smell what the men smell, let's just say
No, God.
let's just say that they were not fans of the opposite sex when it came to sexual pleasures, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So this room, the reason it's done up like this, and this is all original furniture in here pretty much, but this was the only room that was used by Madam that wasn't on the second floor. The Madam's room upstairs.
God, I can
every
smell something
single-
right now. Okay.
What are you smelling?
It's the second time I've gotten a really strong whiff of it, but I don't know that I could identify it yet. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad smell. It was like a pleasant smell. It wasn't a bad smell.
So upstairs is the Madam's room where every other Madam stayed. The only one that didn't stay up there was Ruby Garrett. She stayed in this room.
Okay. Ruby stayed in here.
Anything in that room that happens regularly?
Well, if we were to do
Pretty much this whole building. You're
Okay, so
not gonna-
as we're going through all of these rooms, if you could point out the one where the least horrible things happen paranormally, that'd be really great
that's
for me.
why it's the hub.
Okay, so if they're gonna make me go somewhere by myself for a half hour later on,
not the hub.
can I be in the hub for that half hour, please?
So this is Sandra's fridge. Sandra was an Italian.
Okay.
Right? There's air holes in the back. She even had a lock on the inside doors. And this kind of goes to show you how well Ruby treated her girls. Sandra was illegal, so when the cops came knocking, she would get in this fridge
Oh, that's great.
that Ruby had made for her.
Oh my gosh, that's
And she would
amazing!
lock it from the inside, so even if they tried to open it, well, dang it, we that fridge has been broken for months. We've been meaning to get that fixed. So
Oh
that
my
was
gosh,
Sandra up until I think she was 63 years old.
Wow.
Wow,
This is
that's really
Sandra's
cool.
Fridge.
Okay.
We'll go back here real quick, and I will show you the Venus Alley rooms.
Okay.
And I have a story that I'm going to tell you downstairs. Just
Oh my
remember that
gosh.
back door.
Oh god.
So be careful of the stairs. They acted to the wall.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm 0 for 2 on stairs so far today. So.
This is one of my favorite parts of the building, though, because you can see it's part of the wall, but it's
Oh my gosh, why did you do that?
So this is a Venus Alley room.
Okay.
That
Okay.
door and window would lead out to the alley. So if the girl was available, she'd be standing in front of
Sorry.
the window. If not, the shades would be pulled.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Taken, when like he finally finds her and there's like that's what it reminds me of.
Sure. Okay.
All the girls that are like drugged out on heroin and they're like, oh God.
So these would be the girls that are 50 to 60 men a day for 50 to 75 cents.
Yeah.
So it pretty much was like
Just
that.
big enough for a bed, chair, enough room for the sink to wash up, and then finally go on your way out the alley. Now, if you go around the building after we're done here, I suggest you take a walk out back, because the alley behind here is the last of the brick cobblestone from Venus Alley. It is the original. So you're walking on the path that they actually walked on.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be such a long night. There, like, but really, is there another room that is maybe like just a teeny tiny bit scarier than the hub?
They're all haunted.
I know that they are, but it seems like maybe some of them are more meanly haunted.
You guys are live streaming, right?
Yeah.
So you guys won't cut that?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what happened? What?
No. I have a story for back here, but I'm going to tell it on a live stream.
Pause it.
We can't. Sorry.
Okay, you
I'll
stay
have to-
here.
I'll have to tell you later.
God! You guys talk amongst yourselves. Wait. Why can't you tell it on live stream?
I'm gonna stay down here too.
Because I don't want all of America to think I'm crazy.
You don't think that would be good for business? That's been my strategy. Okay. All right. Well, and I can't promise you that they don't have it on me anyway. Otherwise, I'd tell you to tell me. But I don't want to do that to you in case they do. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
This is a little bit more open.
Hey, how does insurance work in this place? Literally red lights. Okay, so what was with the red lights? It's just people look better in red light?
Okay, so the red light for Red Light District
Yeah.
came for when the trains started running. The conductors would get off from their things for the day, right, their routes, and they would take their red lamp. It was the only light they had. And so when they would go and visit these women, they would put their shoes and everything along with their red light outside the door.
So it was all the train conductors.
So it became the Red Light District.
Interesting.
No way. Now at least I feel smarter.
So this is the madam's bedroom along with her sitting room. Like furniture is original, including the bed. That is the original bed that Eleanor Knott was found in. And you're more than welcome to sit and lay on it.
I was gonna say that's where Kelly's spending 30 minutes today.
No,
You know,
thank
I
you.
usually tell the guys that come on my tours, go ahead and lay down, put a dollar bill on your tummy, see who comes and visits you.
Okay. Because we're doing some solo stuff at 1, Kelly.
No,
So-
I know that you're telling me that I have to do that. That's why.
Well, I don't know. Do you
Being-
think that's effective to sit and like really, really sit in for like 30 minutes or something? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
The best tool you're ever going to use when you're investigating the paranormal is yourself.
Just kind of sit and wait. All right.
The artwork, is that like. Any stories behind any of the. Because the piece downstairs had.
Not that
super
I know
cool-
of.
Not that you know. Okay.
Okay.
Mirrors. Don't like mirrors.
I'm
don't
more
want to.
interested in the architecture.
Oh, super cool. And this is all original?
This is original. Now you are gonna. I know it looks like we haven't done much throughout the place, but
Oh, no, I can only imagine what it's taken to keep it standing, even.
so now I will say that this room looks like you're gonna fall through the floor. You're not gonna fall through the floor.
Okay.
Okay. You're fine to go in it.
I've been in lots of places.
Yeah, it's. I promise.
Okay, so what's.
What's this room? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe before I go into this room.
You know, I haven't done a lot of investigating in here, and I haven't got a lot out of this room.
Okay.
The
this is
corner
Kelly's
room is a little bit different.
So do you, like, when you say you do investigating, do you go to, like, the Butte archives and, like, look through stuff? Or how did. Like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to know, I supposedly with the judge. And,
Oh, this is the judge room?
Okay.
Maybe I'll stay in this one then.
So this is the one I actually call the trance room.
The trance room?
And the reason being is I had a woman in. I'm watching the video, I'm reviewing it for evidence. 43 minutes, she just sits there, and her breathing gets real calm and everything. What were you doing in that room? Were you like sleeping? What was going on? And she's like, no, I was only seconds. And I was like, no, dude, you sat there for like 43 minutes, not saying or doing anything. And she's like, no, I didn't. And she thought she was only in there for a good 30 seconds.
Was there anything that you could see, like, around her?
No.
Nothing. Just
Nothing.
okay. Well, maybe not that one. What was that? Fuck. What was that?
I don't know.
See, look at now. He sees. He's. Oh, I thought you were going downstairs. I thought you wanted to go downstairs.
Yeah, he's waving.
We're gonna go downstairs. So this is the room. This is the room that kept me away for.
Oh, yep. I'll just stand out here and listen to your story. And hear his
Well,
story.
you're the mic, so you gotta.
Okay. Well, I'll stick this in then. Here.
So this is. I came in here.
How about that mirror?
Me and two other investigators are standing in here, and this is the one night that I forgot to do prayers. I didn't wear any of my medals. I kept myself in here because I know this was the one night where I got in, right, and I come in here, and let me tell you, I'll never forget again. But we come in here, and I already have kind of an off feeling, and so Ben starts the live stream. He starts walking down the hallway, gets to the doorway, and he says, hey, everybody wave hi. So we wave hi, and as soon as I wave hi, I black out. I can't remember what happened after that. He was already, so he's going room by room. He was already in the opposite corner room, panning through that.
And it was just you two?
No.
There are
There's other people around watching all this happen.
Okay.
Now, Ben is one of my really good friends. I've known him and his wife. I've watched his kids. He's watched mine. We go out to dinner constantly when he comes into town, like really good friends. I've never had a problem with the dude, but when I snapped out of this, two things happened. One, I could feel the facial muscles, like ones that I've never used before, because it like physically hurt. I wanted to go after Ben
my gosh.
so bad.
Yeah.
So
And no, like why? Just like this overwhelming.
It reminds me of like the demon house.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I kind of snapped out of it, and I just started like beelining for the stairs because I knew that if I said anything to anybody or I did anything, I was going to go after that. And so everybody's asking me, "Oh, are you okay? You okay?" And I just ignored them, and I went downstairs and I went to the hub. And I'm sitting there, and one of the guys that has investigated with me for years comes in, and he's like, "Man, you really don't look good. You should really sit out for a while." And I'm like, "No, I'll be all right." He's like, "No, dude, your eyes are sunken. They're red. You're pale. You don't look good." He's like, "You should go out to my car and sleep for a while." So I go out there. I lay down, and you think it's been like 15 minutes, and it's really been like 3 hours.
Totally.
Okay, so that's what happened. I'm laying down, and all of a sudden, I have the door open up. It wakes me up, and he's standing in the doorway, and he's going, "Man, I just wanted to come check on you." I was like, "What are you doing, man? I just fell asleep. It's like I just came out here. Why are you checking on me?" And I'm kind of getting irritated. He's like, "Man, you've been out here for like 3.5 hours." We call that getting in possession, right? So that kept me away from here for a good 3.5, 4 months because it terrified the shit out of me. And I've never forgotten to do any of those things again when I come in here, and I've never had a problem since. But that's kind of, I tell the story, like I said.
What?
What did he say? Oh, wow. Okay. In the hub, huh? Okay.
So, like I said before, I don't tell you these stories to scare you. I tell you to give you the worst of the worst.
Okay, but like you going outside and like sleeping it off and like whatever, like there wasn't any follow up that you know of from that?
No, I stayed away for a while.
Okay. What is sleeping off, though? What do you think was happening during the 3 hours since you were out?
I don't know.
Like
His body was really fucking tired?
Yeah, I think I was just so exhausted.
Yeah.
Even from that little bit
Yeah.
of,
You don't think that's the process to,
I couldn't tell you because it was the first time and the last time that I ever went through it.
What?
So.
And wait, what were you doing here?
I was
Just
So this is where it's probably 30 minutes?
and so whatever that thing is, and I can send you the video.
Yeah.
So I have a video up here where I have the girl who was making the video was in that room. I was standing outside the doorway, and I had my hat on backwards, and I'm looking at an SLS camera that we had, and I'm pointing it towards the other investigators who were in this opposite corner room. And so in the background of that video that she's shooting out of this doorway towards this way, under the bill of my hat, you can see a shadow figure pop.
Oh, wow.
And if it was somebody who was in the frame and just, I blocked them, you would have seen them come on the opposite side of me, right? They would have walked, but nothing comes on the other side of me. So it like dips in and disappears. And David has seen that same thing with his own eyes. So he was coming out of Madam's room and he saw it down here and it was like peeking around this corner. And so when he saw it, it actually dipped back in here.
Okay, so it definitely seems to be associated with that room. It's not transient?
So every time I've dealt with that thing, it's been up here. And that room is always, every time somebody comes into this building or we meet a medium that's actually worth their weight that comes in, does not like that room.
Good to know. That's
I
where
trust
Kelly's
them.
going.
I don't like it either. I'm perfectly willing to trust those instincts. Okay. What was the balcony up here for? Just sitting and having a smoke?
Smoke breaks?
Yeah, sitting area.
My pocket and one attached to this.
It's going to be dark until I can flip it.
But Dennis, you want? Wait, no, I don't want to be out here alone. Okay.
Well, I'm following behind you. You're all right.
Okay.
So pretty much where you're standing is where John Farron was found, with his head completely turned around.
Just turn
I
around.
mean, it sounds like maybe.
We did an update. What's going on? Are we live still?
We are still live, yeah.
Okay.
We have.
What the fuck? Maybe dust?
I don't see it live.
Is that recorded? Someone clipped it?
Hmm.
All right.
So when you said you leave and you turn all the lights out, do the red lights stay on?
I can leave the red lights on for
That'd
you.
be really great if you could leave the red lights on at least.
Yeah, okay.
The rest of the place gets pretty dark. You're going to need your lights.
All right now, so I'll head back over there.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see what we get.
Okay. Well,
Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Okay, hold on. Byron.
yeah, you're okay. Big deep breath, Kelly.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you to stay out of some rooms, obviously.
That seems like pretty clear.
Sure,
Yeah.
it makes
What
sense.
happened there, incidentally?
Is there a well there?
So there's
Oh, God.
there's a couple different stories behind that. The
Okay.
one that I've always heard is that there was a guy back in the days of the brothel that was playing cards upstairs. Really normal. He was a regular, never caused any trouble. All of a sudden, he jumps out of his seat, slams his cards down on the table, and says, "They're telling me to dig."
Okay.
This was the result.
Really?
Um,
Who's they? And
The
this
madam
guy, you
couldn't
think?
stop him from going to town.
Now
like-
the other rumor is there's another set of cribs underneath our feet.
Which, in Butte, that makes actually perfect
And
sense because there's so much
was at
shit.
the entryway.
Fuck. Okay.
So this room's open to you.
What's
room's open to you. Just stay on this side of the
Okay.
tape. You can obviously see
Any
why.
cliff notes on
Sure.
less scary, more scary?
So this we call our portal room.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So I told you that there was going to be a story I would tell you to that of how I think things got brought in here that were never part of the Dumas.
Yeah.
So while this place was a brothel, and even after it was closed as a brothel, there were multiple groups in here and did experiments.
Mm-hmm.
But for some odd reason, they always chose this room.
And
They
there's no.
spanned over decades of people doing that. It was always this room. On top of that, if you know anything about the paranormal world, you know mirrors facing each other are probably not the best thing. And there's about 12 mirrors on that wall on that side facing this one.
Who's Michael?
Oh, Michael is the previous owner of this place. He passed away in Missoula from a heart attack about 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay. So there, that's what that sounds like.
So you can see there's tape on this door, gate on this one,
Hold on, the tape.
tape on
Tape.
this one.
Those mean no.
That means no.
Okay.
And it's not because they're too haunted, it's because I don't want you falling through the floor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you ever tell people that are kind of assholes that they should go in there?
No.
Okay.
No,
I would
I'm
kind of
not-
maybe do that.
I'm not that mean.
Yeah.
So you can see we do have a ball down here.
Oh, fun.
There is
Oh, that's cool.
So there is a little boy spirit that runs around down here. We've never seen or encountered him upstairs. I don't know why he's stuck down here, but he is. I've seen him.
You lost a battery. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. I got you.
Yeah, anyone else?
I'll trade spots with you.
Sorry.
Okay, just stick it on yourself right there. Just push hard.
So that second room on the right here, we've actually seen him, little boy, run into that room behind the curtain.
Into this one.
Is that one an off limits one?
No,
Just the little boy, huh?
just a little boy.
Oh, that one seems.
He
I don't like
runs
Facebook
back there. We go back there. We see if he's back there. There's nothing.
Okay. Oh, there's a boy back here.
I almost don't want to ask the word to tunnel.
We're almost
Yep, that's what I thought.
You probably recognize those metal rings.
Sure do.
So now you know where that picture is.
Yep. Okay.
So
Where'd the
cool
chair
thing-
go? There was a chair too.
Oh god, this area was just packed with
Okay,
stuff when that
okay.
picture was taken. They actually,
Imagine what
That's-
that would do to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and so some of these still have pretty good labels on them. So you can see
But so
Polish?
yeah, but they were
lacquer finish
Right,
polish.
clearly.
So yeah, of course that's what it was, right? That's interesting.
So probably one of the cooler finds.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that was behind the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are tons of places behind the wall you guys haven't even like looked into.
So now watch your feet as you're walking through.
Okay. With the furnace that talks, like
That's
the big
right.
scary.
Always hear the rumors about being right.
Yeah.
Be on there who did the automatic right. Totally caved in.
Okay.
And the reason that it's so close to this room is because the Dumas at one point was known for prohibition liquor, hashish, cocaine, lot, including a transvestite.
Really?
So you could come in from the view tunnels, go right into the room, get your business done, and leave without anybody knowing your business.
They were assigned to the next to the boiler room.
Wow. That's wow.
That's wow. Okay.
So watch your feet,
Okay.
don't trip over the pipe.
Okay. Have you gone and messed around in the tunnels much?
The last time we did it, we had about 3 weeks of hell break loose in this place, so we just don't do that anymore.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
As you can see, we just did a full loop, and that loop is open to you guys tonight.
Okay.
Good to know.
Okay.
But I will tell you, like I said, I'm going to shut the lights off.
Cool.
So just to give you an idea of what that is, I'm going to go cut the break through.
No, I'll go. You go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna stay. Like.
Just stay right here.
No, I really don't.
But it would be good for you to know. For your safety.
Just to know, I'm going to turn them out for 5 seconds,
Okay.
and I'll turn them back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Byron, no, stay close.
Oh, but I need to get the shot.
Byron.
Come on. Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
See, not that bad with a flashlight.
With
we're
flashlight,
good
it's
with
okay.
You turn the flashlight out, it's pitch black. Though.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Okay.
You're really scared. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
She's gonna be fine. Wait, it is now 9:41. Got it.
So
5
the-
Down here.
I did actually notice that
So-
too. I was wondering if.
So it's kind of like you're off kilter, right?
Yeah.
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 So that'll happen a lot in here.
What's the deal?
It's just the way this building is, man.
All right.
Sometimes you'll feel like you're in a time loop too, where some nights
Whoa.
I come in here and I do tours, overnight ghost tours, and it feels like it's forever and a day. And then there's some nights where we come in here and it feels like it's been an hour.
What's that freaking movie that they made too many of?
I don't know.
Where they got in a time loop. It was like they were like doing a ghost investigation overnight.
Grave encounters.
Grave Encounters.
Grave encounters.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like one of the scare. Just that concept scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Very terrifying.
Let me go check in with Dennis real quick. Or unless you have the tour.
So I pretty much told you the history that we know. The only thing
Except for the story that he won't tell on live stream. So if we
That's
could go off
fair.
live stream for a
We
minute.
can't do that. Sorry.
Can you guys promise me that you'll like keep it on you while I go hear it from him?
Well, yes. Yeah. do you
Okay.
want-
Okay, because I don't want to tell him to tell me unless I know that you guys aren't going to like. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
Oh, yeah,
interrupt.
no.
We're trying to cut her audio or? Okay.
I'm trying to. Your camera's frozen.
Oh, okay.
So don't tell that story yet, but you guys promise in a minute if I beg you to do that, you'll like then he
Of
can tell me
course.
that. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so the only part of the history that I didn't tell you yet is the black mark on Butte's beautiful history.
There's only one.
Do you know who it is?
Evil Knievel?
No.
Hmm.
Oh.
Black mark. Evil. Bad. Black mark.
He was a pretty bad dude.
Yeah.
Not compared to the one I'm about to tell you.
William Clark?
Gertie Buchanan.
Hmm.
Okay, I know nothing about Gertie Buchanan.
You said your husband's from Butte, right?
Yeah.
So go ask him about Gertie Buchanan when you get home. See if he knows anything.
Okay, well, you should tell me anyway.
So Gertie Buchanan was a midwife. Deliveries of babies throughout the brothel, also did abortions.
Oh, fuck.
Um,
I'm just trying to imagine what that must have been like for everybody.
we have about 16 confirmed cases in this building of what she did. We think it's more along the lines of 30 or 40, but we just can't prove that.
Where was she from?
Butte.
She was born and raised here.
Uh-huh.
I take it she did not go to medical school.
I'm not sure. What I can tell you is that, well, she was employed by a lot of the brothels in the area just because, you know, if you're a lady of the night and get pregnant, you're either out of work for a while or you have an abortion and you get back to work.
What time frame are we talking?
40s.
Okay, so like maybe the
40s and
Anaconda mine was also paying her. Would make sense.
So Gertie would, on some instances, dope these mothers up who are in labor with so much opium that they would pass out, but it wouldn't kill them. And then she would then take the babies when they were born.
So like the mother wasn't even trying to have an abortion, like was giving
Right.
birth.
Right. She would take the baby, sometimes with the placenta still attached,
Fuck. Oh my
and
god.
rush it out this back door to a pimp that would sell it on the black market for about $500.
Wow. Oh. Wow.
Like,
And like I said, there's about 16 or 17 confirmed without a doubt she did just out of this place. And we think that number is actually a lot higher.
Yeah.
Your history is when you're bound to repeat it, and I'll be damned if that happens in Butte, Montana.
wow, that's awful.
So,
Oh my god.
I tell that story so Gertie will be remembered and that kind of thing doesn't happen anymore.
I'm not even going to ask the question I want to ask because I totally don't want to know the answer. What
Well,
happens to a
but-
black market baby? But I don't want to know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, not the greatest life afterwards. There were very few that made it into good families.
Why are they spending? I don't know.
Well, that's
And
like
so that's
yeah,
one
that's
name
the-
that you should remember, especially in the basement. You start bringing up Gertie Buchanan, things start to get a little bit rowdy in this place.
Yeah.
So that's one name.
I mean, like the women never like fucking revolted against her, and like I just can't.
I don't think half of them knew. Because when the mother woke up, she would come back and say that the baby was stillborn and didn't make it.
Oh, yes, that's
So
a
you
good
would think
point.
your baby was dead.
Oh my god.
And you'd be so traumatized by that and in your own grief that you're not asking those kind of questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, we come to the end of the Dumas Brothel. Ruby Garrett took it over. Treated a lot of her girls good, but there was only probably 5 or 6 girls that worked for her at that time. There's actually a picture of her right here, sitting on trial for tax evasion for the second time.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good story.
And so she was paying the cops about $600 a month to keep this place hush hush. But when you're being found out for tax evasion and the federal government comes in, the local cops aren't going to save you anymore. So she got arrested for tax evasion. They took her out to a California prison. She served about 6 months out there, and one of the stipulations of getting out was to come back here and shut down the brothel. And so that's what she did. She closed the brothel, and they were going to bulldoze it because back taxes, nobody wanted it. And so Ruby's just throwing stuff out the front door. I mean, ottomans, chairs, beds, everything. Rudy Gerstein comes driving by and says, "What's going on?" Starts to question her, and she tells him the whole story. He goes down and he pays the back taxes off that day, and he becomes the new owner of the Dumas Brothel.
Was he just like a crazy history buff and didn't want to see it go, or was just like...
Yeah, kind of, and that's how it always kind of happens with this place. It after it was shut down as a brothel, it always goes to the chopping block, and it's about to be bulldozed, and somebody comes along and buys it. Michael, the previous owner with Travis, that you probably seen on the Ghost Adventures episodes and Dead Files, things like that, he was the same way. They came here looking for rental properties. They found the brothel on the chopping block and bought it instead. Now, the weird thing about, well, all the owners, Garrett, who's owned this place, has had major heart problems after they bought it.
Didn't Dave have a heart problem?
And even up to Dave right now has some heart problems.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Now, I have a theory behind that. This place, ever since Joseph and Arthur being owners of this place, it was always ran by a woman until it shut down. After that was a man. And I'm wondering if a woman owned this, if things would turn out to be...
If it would be different.
Just my theory.
Interesting. But your wife's not going to buy it.
No, and I will not allow her... No, and that's what I tell people. They go, "Well, what if you were given the brothel?" And I said, "I wouldn't take it. I'll be a caretaker. I won't put my name on the paperwork because of that reason. I just won't do it."
Makes a lot of sense.
But there were other weird things that happened with the owner. So, like with Michael and Travis, they bought the brothel. Michael had the same idea. I want to turn it into a museum. Great idea. But he knew living in Missoula, it was not going to work traveling back and forth, so he bought a house at the same auction. Okay? Mm-hmm. He's signing the paperwork for both buildings later on that day, and he found out that he not only bought Joseph Nadeau's business, but he bought his house.
Oh my gosh.
Without even knowing it. David Prince, same way. Place is on the chopping block, about to go to getting bulldozed. He comes through town looking for rental properties, finds out about the Dumas instead, and spends $4,000 more than he was planning to, and that was 6 years ago. So it's always kind of the same story. It's really weird.
Let's hope that Dave holds on to it for a lot longer than some of those other people, though. Yeah.
Well, this is the closest we've ever got to actually turning it into like a full-fledged museum.
Yeah.
So I'm getting plaques made through the prison, like the prison plaques with the metal out in the yard. I'm getting some made for here, and we found artifacts, and we're making the rooms into what they are, and doing that. But
you guys, I wonder. I mean, the university in Missoula. I know they've got like some of the archaeologists do like much more recent stuff, and I know they've done things even, up near some of the ghost towns. I wonder if you could get like a work study person, somebody to come in and help with that. That would be like super trained, and you wouldn't have to pay for it, and they'd get credits for it.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how much work that is to like try and go through all this stuff. It's just so much.
I've been around here for years and we're still working. So it's, yeah.
Wow.
Seems like we've lost my camera, so I'm going to go
Okay.
see what's going on. Do you want to...
Yeah, just make sure that this isn't like
no, you're
recording. Like, because I.
Oh, you're shutting yours down. Yes.
Well, yeah, because I want to hear the story, but
I'll cut all audio.
You promise?
We'll leave the video.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I get your reaction of...
Okay, as long as it's just video, that's fine. I don't care if you still film me.
I'll give you a shout. Okay?
If it's anything like.
Wow. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing okay. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in
You
the
can't
hub.
pretend to do a blackout for 3 hours, like
In the
Addison.
hub?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so I do got to show you this part of history because it was pointed out to me about a month ago, and like I said, I've been in here for years now. David took me down here and he showed me this, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Okay.
So this was like very high turnout, right?
Yeah,
So there would be men lined up down here. You can actually see where they used to have matches that they could grab, and the burnt ones could go right here.
mm-hmm.
And so if you're grabbing them out of there, what do you strike it on? Well, the wall, of course.
Oh, wow.
So all the way down, you're going to see
Lines.
match strike marks everywhere. So they were literally, I mean, I can just imagine like some guys leaning against the.
Oh my
You
god.
ever hear that?
Isn't that cool though?
Yeah.
I bet
That's part of
that
the
because that would
history,
be a
that's-
noise that would be pretty
'Cause you can-
discernible.
It's in the wall. If we hear that.
If I were a madam, I would have installed something for
But yeah,
them to
you can
not
see
screw
it.
up my wallpaper.
Well, these
with.
are just the cribs, though. You know, like
Wait, whoa.
did people like? Did they care less about the cribs, or
Yeah, I mean, this was just low end. This
Yeah.
was all your minors and vagrants and.
okay? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry, if you go, you're only going to fall about 30 feet.
Just about 30 into the. Oh, so there's no way there's a second tunnel.
I'm just kidding.
Of course.
You
Oh no, I'm not worried about falling through.
You only go to your
Like literally,
Yeah.
the actual physical like things that I could trip on here, I'm like not the least bit worried about.
All right. That's really cool. That's really interesting.
All right, so I'm going to turn off your lights down here.
I appreciate
Okay, hold on.
it. I don't want to trip on the stairs like
Byron, hurry up. Oh no, I was just checking the time. It's a lot of hours. You're not supposed to tell them they're fine. You're not supposed to invalidate their feelings.
The light's off, that's what I meant. Anything light off over there.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Also, the laser pad for this.
Yeah, sure. Kelly, you want to come in here?
Yep, sure. Yep, love to. Sorry. Okay.
So I said this is probably the safest room, and that's not a lie, but that doesn't mean stuff won't happen in here.
Sure.
We were even talking about it the one night being the safest room, and that pipe that led from the stove to the wall, which hadn't moved in years. The guy on my team that was giving that speech, it popped out of the wall and hit him on the head.
That's pretty sweet.
Well,
Okay.
Dennis's phone fell,
So-
too. That was what fell.
As we're talking about how safe this room is, and it's like,
Yeah. Did you say your phone fell, Dennis?
Yeah, my phone fell off this table.
Like,
that happens a lot. That's something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
it
On
isn't
that
even.
table. And I don't know why it's that specific table, but that has happened before where we'll have a phone that's way over here. Like there's no way that it was like teetering on the edge or something.
That's what that
And
is.
you'll actually see it fly off the table.
When
and
we
hit the
were
floor.
up there in the red light. Yeah, that's the noise we heard.
That's what that noise was?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
So
sit and read.
that's actually Yeah, that's something that happens pretty much on a regular basis. And I don't know why it's with those cabinets. Because it never happens over here or on this table, or it's just over here. That's weird.
Yeah.
It just happened a few weeks ago to one of my investigators. And we were actually standing here and watched it happen.
You weren't very far, right? You were just in the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, well, basement's dark. Red lights upstairs. You can just leave on when you leave.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And I left the bathroom light on too.
Appreciate that.
Everything else is dark.
Cool. That was a great tour. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any questions or whatever later on, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so lock's up there.
Okay.
Go ahead and slide the bar after I leave.
You guys
and-
saw how to do that because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got it. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Should be cake.
And, you know, I'm going to be in Deer Lodge, but if there's any problems or anything, I'm the closest, so give me a call.
Okay.
My phone will be on and come over here.
Okay, thank you so much.
But yeah, it's all yours. And this is better anyway than somebody sitting in this room because now you know that if something happens, it wasn't me.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right? So,
Appreciate it. Thank you so
Sure.
much. We'll be in touch.
so,
Really, really
yeah.
appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you for all
absolutely.
the advice and the conversation. That's all.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, thank you so much, Addison. Oh boy.
Hi, ladies.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Okay. God, that makes the most horrible noise when it closes. Why does it have to make that horrible noise? Okay.
What exactly happened behind that locked steel door? To witness the full 6-hour paranormal investigation of the Dumas Brothel, visit thefrighdaysociety.org. Thanks for listening, and stay scared.
You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McCoy. Theme music is provided by Yawns. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.